Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie. Today I have a belated Black Friday sneak peek unboxing to share with you from Diamond Art Club. This is Oleander by one of my favorite artists that they have, Margaret Morales, and with lots of my favorite color, which is just all shades of pink. Even the box is pink, though that's just because it has round drills. But I'm going to give you a sense for what this kit looks like, and you can decide if you want to add it to your wish list and your bag and stock notifications, because I am pretty sure that this one is unfortunately sold out, but I still hope that you find this unboxing to be helpful. Now, if you're newer to Diamond Art Club, I'm going to give you an overview of the features of their kits so you have a good sense for what they have to offer, which is pretty high quality diamond painting project. Let's take a look. So, like I said, this one's called Oleander, and it's 55.6 by 78.7 centimeters. You know, this is one that I would have been interested to see them potentially do as a partial diamond painting without having to diamond paint the background. But I think that that's not something they do terribly often, but I think this is still going to be really pretty, and with round drills and what I think is a much improved round drill field that's easy to multi-place on, I think it's going to be totally fine and go quickly. So yes, round drills, they use pink branding here. If it's a round drill kit, it's blue if it's a square drill kit. And we're going to have 74 colors. That's a lot of colors, actually. How many shades of pink? Includes 3 ABs and 3 fairy dust. It has a total of 57-ish thousand diamonds in it. There's some info about how to diamond paint on the back. Now, if you're new to the craft, take a look into in the description box of this video, blah, blah, blah. I will have some beginner videos linked, including some basics like a how to diamond paint 101 that'll walk you through this if you are interested. And then our kit contents, we're going to go through all of that. And then you have a sticker on the bottom that tells you what kit this is, so that you can tell what project you're looking for if you're like me and have all your diamond paintings stacked on top of each other in a little stash mountain. So it is handy. Now, if you're brand new to Diamond Art Club and thinking of making your very first purchase, I have a 20% off discount code you can use. It is just my name, Katie, Katie, and the number 20. It's an affiliate code, so I may make a small commission if you choose to use it, and thanks so much if you do. I just wanted to point out as well that this features their newer box style, which is where there's actually a separate sleeve. I like to, when I open up my boxes to unbox them, I will just, like you saw, slice around the edges. This is especially helpful with this new style of box because then this sleeve isn't sliding around. The plastic kind of holds it all in place and holds it together. So I highly recommend that. If you're someone that wants to open your box to check the contents and everything, but not actually work on the kit right away, that can be one way to avoid the frustration of the sleeve, sliding off, especially if you stack your kits. Okay, let's actually start with the toolkit. Leave you in suspense about what my treasure quest card is. And Diamond Art Club's toolkits do feature some, I think, nice upgrades from your standard basic toolkit. Their pens are bigger than a standard pen, like a basic pen. They have more of an ergonomic shape to them. They also come preloaded with a clear wax, and they call this twist and pick pen, which means you just twist it and the wax will start coming out the end. Kind of varies how much wax they load in there. There we go. And if you run out of the wax that's already loaded in there, you can actually twist it back the other direction. It's like, slowly but surely, there it comes. If it runs out, you can twist it the opposite direction, and they give you some extra wax. They tuck it in here that you can put more in there if you want. That's gonna last you plenty of time. They also give you some of their classic pink heart wax if you prefer that. You could also use that in your multi-placer. Speaking of multi-placers, they do put a 4-placer in the end. It's removable, and they include a 7-placer you could swap in as well. This is also compatible with their metal tips. Just make sure you're grabbing the ones that are push-in and not the threaded twist-in kind. You get some extra baggies. You can store some leftover diamonds in those, and then their trays, which are my favorite of their toolkit upgrades. Their trays, the main thing for me is that they're so much bigger. I like to multi-place, especially on a kit like this with that ivory background. I'm going to want to be able to use my 12-placer. So a nice big tray that I can put plenty of drills in, and it's big enough that enough of those diamonds will line up, is really handy. So I like that a lot about these trays. They come with a removable stopper as well as a sliding lid, and they're also stackable. There's like cutouts on the top and bottom, so you can stack them on top of each other if you have a bunch and want to kit up into those. So that's their toolkits. Now let's take a look and see what our treasure quest card is going to be. It looks like a bronze card. Now let me explain this really quickly. So Treasure Quest cards are a pretty collectible as well as part of a secondary rewards program. So you've got the artwork and the title here, and then if you flip it to the back, your card's gonna have a rank. And there's 4 different kinds. There's bronze, silver, gold, and black, with black being the rarest. Bronze is by far the most common. This is 95% of my Treasure Quest cards. If you also got this kit or get it in the future, it is likely to come with a bronze card, but you also have a chance of getting one of the other ranks of cards as well. Now, if you scratch off here, there's a redemption code, and once you get various combinations of these different tiers of cards, you can redeem them for things like gift cards or even a custom diamond painting, which I did recently do, and I have the video explaining all of that linked below if you're interested. On the inside of this envelope, there's just some helpful things I wanted to point out. First is the VIP Facebook group, which is a handy resource. You can join that once you've made your first purchase. Make sure that your name on your Diamond Art Club account matches your Facebook name, by the way. They also have a mobile app. So if you download that, you do get 20% off your first purchase. It's handy for notifications and stuff like that. And then we have a set of stickers here. These are actual individual stickers. And then here's a look at the original artwork. Look. It's Margaret. It's a portrait style. Of course, it's stunning. These are all individual stickers. I'm going to use this one in my paper logbook once I actually go to start working on the kit. We have a set of stickers here. There's a lot of variety in terms of color here, actually, compared to what I expected. Like lots of different shades of like the teals and yellows and stuff. I'm so curious to see the drill colors, but 74 colors in total. The code you see in the right-hand column is the DMC code. It comes from the DMC brand of floss, like they use in cross stitch. Most diamond painting companies do use this color code system. Diamond Art Club puts their special drills at the end, so Z is fairy dust, AB is AB. Just also a really quick note that sometimes you'll see 6000s range colors in Diamond Art Club kits. These are not DMC color codes. These are actually colors that Diamond Art Club has created to fill gaps in the DMC color code system, since there are some color families that are not as extensive as they could be, and Diamond Art Club makes all their diamonds in-house. They're able to just go, okay, let's make these colors and fill these gaps, which I feel like only means good things, because then they can match the original artwork that much more closely. Let's unroll this and take a look. All of those shades of pink. I am serious. I don't look at this and go, oh, 74 colors, but I trust Diamond Art Club with this, you guys. Okay, so yeah, there's shades of yellow like in her eyes and stuff. I bet we're gonna have a number of colors that there are just small amounts of when we look at the drills. But first we're gonna look at the canvas and its features, but isn't she stunning? She's staring into your soul. Oh my gosh, I love how Diamond Art Club is rendering Margaret's work. It's just so dang pretty. She's stunning. Absolutely stunning. This is one of 3 Margarets, 3 or 4 that released for Black Friday. And I have the others on the way that I purchased because they were must-haves. But anyway, let's talk about features. For those of you that are newer to Diamond Art Club, this is for you. So we got their branding at the top. Then canvas material. I really care about my canvas material when it comes to diamond painting because it's literally what I'm putting my diamonds on. I'm sorry to smack the camera there. Their canvas material is really soft on the back and it has a nice weight to it. More importantly, it lays flat really nicely and it holds drills well. It's nice to diamond paint on. That's what we're looking for. They have a thick plastic cover and poured glue. That's really sticky actually. And then their perforated plastic cover has these lines to show you where there's these perforated edges. So if you like to work within kind of designated sections, you have the option to do that and you can just tear along the perforations when you're ready to open up or finish a section. So then we have a legend. You're going to see it at the top left as well as over at the bottom right. At the bottom left, you'll see a thumbnail, the title, the size, and copyright. What the copyright sign means is that this piece is legally licensed, so Diamond Art Club has Margaret's permission to use this artwork and is compensating her for it as well. This is the case with all of their pieces, which I really appreciate because I like seeing artists compensated for their work. Here we have their socials and another discount code, and your kit comes with a lifetime warranty. As long as you're the original owner and purchaser of your kit, you're covered under that lifetime warranty, which includes things like if you were to run out of a drill color or have any other issues with your kit, you can contact customer support and they'll take you from there. looking up close, this is certainly going to be a color blocking heavy kit. So color blocking, really the best example is going to be the background. It's where you have lots of, a big section of the same color or block of color like you see here, and you'll be able to use your multi-placer and have that color in your tray for longer, so it tends to go faster. There's definitely some areas where I'm seeing confetti in this kit though, like you see here. So confetti is where you have more color changes in a small area, and you're going to be changing out the color in your tray more often. Her eyes are also an example of that. And be doing more single placing. So areas like that tend to take a little bit longer, but the trade-off is that that's how you usually get a nice amount of detail and some good color blending. So this really is a lot of color blocking in the background and then a nice amount of confetti in the actual subject, like the flowers and parts of her hair and her face. So if you were worried about feeling burned out or bored with one or the other, I feel like you could really easily kind of go back and forth between color blocking heavy sections and confetti heavy sections, and that way you're less likely to get bored. That's kind of my thought anyway. Around 79 centimeters, Melissa 78.7. And then I always like to measure just for posterity. About 55 and a half, Melissa's 55.6, so we're true to size. Now, realistically, I know that some of you see this giant solid color background and you go, nope, I'm noping right out of here. It's not for me. Look, I understand. I have to be in the right mood to work on a kit that has a solid color background. I do want to encourage you with trying one of these out though, because sometime around a year ago, Diamond Art Club, it seems like they did something with either the drills or the drill field and just made it a little bit snugger for round drills. And now it is a dream to multi-place big same color areas like this. I use a 12 placer like I mentioned earlier, and I could just zoom right through this and it's generally going to look really evenly spaced, and it just tends to work pretty well. So I suggest giving it a try if you haven't before, if you haven't in a while, but if it's not for you, that's also completely okay. There's lots of other gorgeous kits that Diamond Art Club has to offer. So work on what you love, okay? I just wanted to offer that encouragement in case you were on the fence. But anyway, here's our drills. We have a sticker that tells us what these go with, and there's our color palette. So yeah, still predominantly shades of pink. The other colors just looks like we have little packs in the middle. Let's look. All right, so as far as how many of this background color, let's count and see. So the color is 3770. It's an ivory color, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bags of our background color. And then we get into some shades of pink. All these kind of same color family, 602, 603, 604. Now, these are not actually in in DMC order. They're rather in order of like weight or how many diamonds there are. Here's our first special drill. It's Z605. This is a fairy dust diamond. And if you look closely, you can see that pearlescent sheen on the tops of these diamonds. It almost looks like someone took and brushed a fine glitter coating on the tops of these diamonds and gives them just a glimmery, shimmery effect. I really, really love this special drill type a lot. It's my favorite of the ones that Diamond Art Club has. Oh, and we have 2 bags actually of Z605. So lots of that shimmer to start us out with. And then here's our first AB color. We had 3 of each, I believe. So 3 ABs, 3 fairy dust. Here's our first AB, AB 819. Now AB stands for Aurora Borealis. These get their name from the northern lights and that really pretty iridescent color shift effect that they have. The coating on these is very eye-catching. It definitely jumps out more than the fairy dust diamonds do. And it's really going to grab your eye and draw it to the areas it has been charted. So we are going to go together through this kit after we look at all the drill colors, and we'll see where the different special drills are going to be found. So first though, we're going to take a look at all of our drill colors. Yeah, some of our plants have these really pretty shades of like green and teal. I will move a little quickly because we have so many of these to go through, but I do want to give you a chance to look at the overall color spread. Now, Diamond Art Club's round drills, I feel like they're very, very faceted, and it gives them a really twinkly effect, like you can see, especially in some of the slightly darker colors. So I think that's going to be really pretty with this kit. Here's our next special drill. It's another fairy dust. We have Z598. This is a really pretty aqua color fairy dust, and you can see that pearlescent kind of sheen. Yeah, fairy dust that's really subtle, but it still does stand out a bit from the drills around it enough that you still notice the difference in the artwork and how it just enhances where it's been charted. Here's our next AB, AB 3609. So we have a light pink AB. Of course, we had to have a pink AB in the mix. So pretty. Yeah, as someone that is unashamedly a fan of the color pink and all shades of pink, I'm loving the color palette in this kit. Here we've got our last AB, which is a light green AB, AB 3348. Curious to see where that one will go. And I think we'll just have one fairy dust left. Is this the oh no, we have one more strand after this one. So yeah, these are the colors we just have the tiniest amounts of. I kind of like the Diamond Art Club puts them in order of weight or amount of diamonds because I cut up into storage containers with a variety of sizes, and so I can kind of plan accordingly. Z743, our last fairy dust color, is this really pretty yellow fairy dust. I wonder if that'll be in her eyes, maybe. We shall see, or maybe the AB will be. But we shall see. So yeah, I'm a fan of Diamond Art Club's round drills. Like I said, I like how sparkly they are. And I like the improvements overall that they always are trying to make too. Here's our last little straggler strand of just 4 colors. Now let's look at the canvas and see about where these special drills are going to go. Our 3 ABs and our 3 fairy dust. So just as a refresher, we had the super pale pink AB. Almost looks ivory, but I think it's really a pale pink. Then we had the light green AB, and then we had kind of a more medium toned pink AB that was still on the lighter side. And then we had the aqua fairy dust, the pink fairy dust that we had 2 big bags of, and then the yellow fairy dust. So first things first, the aqua fairy dust color is going to be, it's that symbol, right? Yeah. So it's going to be it's one of these lighter colors that's in these leaves. You can see it in a lot of these light blue colors here, as well as here, and going up through this leaf. And then there's our light green AB. So we had our, aqua fairy dust and then light green AB. And then this yellow is going to be our yellow fairy dust. And then the pink fairy dust that we had 2 big bags of is this particular shade of kind of bubblegum pink that's all through these flowers. It's going to be all through the flower petals and this whole kit. So it's one of these kind of medium toned pink colors. It's all through there. And then our super pale pink AB is going to be this light, it looks white almost in camera. It's like an ivory almost color in camera. But the ABs themselves look like a super light pink. It's these colors in the flower petals, a super light color here and here, as well as over here and there. And then the more medium toned pink AB, this one I actually had a little bit of a hard time finding, but it's like one of these medium pink colors like in here. There's like a little tracing of it there, a little bunch of it here. It's this sparkle right there, the little like plus sign. That's the one I'm pretty sure that I'm going to miss the most of, just FYI. There was some of it, it was in one of these spots. The symbol doesn't jump out to my eye for some reason. It's this little plus sign sparkle and a couple little spots in here. And then some of the little accent pieces in her bodice right here. I think that's the place you're most going to notice it, is these little like light pink sparkles in her bodice. Okay, let's move this up. I think with these flowers, you're going to see kind of a lot of repeat kinds of spots for these special drills. So we have the light pink fairy dust that we get oodles of all through these flower petals. It's also in, I think this is partially, I can't tell if this is her hair or her dress, but I see some of that light pink fairy dust in here. There's some of the yellow fairy dust right there. Let me see. No, not over there. Okay. We have some of the super pale pink AB is this color, as well as this little sparkle X right there. More pink fairy dust in these areas. Here's some of that light green AB. And then that medium toned pink AB. I thought I saw that symbol, and again, it's just left in my eyes completely. There wasn't a ton of it, but still, I'm like, where is it? Okay. In her eyes, the yellow of her eyes, there's 2 dots in each eye of the yellow fairy dust color. And then a bit of her eyeshadow here is the pink fairy dust. There's some of the pink fairy dust, like a couple of dots of it up there. And then in her hair, we have pink fairy dust. Over here in these flower petals, we have a bunch of the pink fairy dust all through these flower petals. And then the lightest color here is going to be that super pale pink AB. It's also these light, oh, out of frame, sorry. There's more of the pink fairy dust and that super pale pink AB in here. And some of the light green AB in the green areas in these leaves. And there's a little bit more of that aqua fairy dust right there. And in her hair, you see these like little light pink patches. That's going to be the light pink fairy dust. It's also over there, some sprinklings in there. And gosh darn, I really, really think that that other pink AB is just not leaping out to my eye. So I'm sorry, you guys, that I haven't found more of that. There's more of the light pink fairy dust in her hair over here too. So yeah, those 2 bags of that pink fairy dust color, it's everywhere. You're going to see tons of it all throughout this piece. It's just going to give it an overall shimmery effect. I think it's going to look really, really pretty. I generally really love how Diamond Art Club charts special drills in Margaret Morales pieces. I've completed a couple here on my channel that I'll try to remember if I did dedicated post reviews. I'll link to them below because I know it's helpful, if nothing else, to see how completed kits by a particular artist look from a particular company, because obviously no one has completed this one yet. But if you're trying to decide if you want it on your wish list, that's I feel like the closest you can get to getting a sense for how this might look completed is seeing how some of the other work by this artist looks from the shop. So just a suggestion, you can also check the reviews of different kits on Diamond Art Club's website, and sometimes people will post pictures when they have completed kits, and that can be really helpful too. But this is a stunner. This is one of a few different Margaret kits that released for Diamond Art Club's big Black Friday drop. And like I said, I believe is out of stock. I'm so sorry that this came in after Black Friday. Just overall shipping delays, it happens. I know that their warehouse is working overtime to try to get, I guess they had like record-breaking sales for Black Friday, which is why between delays on kits actually arriving to them and just the sheer number of orders to go through, why you might, if you're like me, still be waiting on a number of, well, actually all of my Black Friday kits and I think 3 more sneak peeks, 3 or 4. So stay tuned for those. I am planning to share them as long as as soon as they come in, as long as it's before I leave to go out of town for the holidays. Fingers crossed. But subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss that. And I will have this exact kit linked below, and if it is something that you want to try to snag if and when it restocks, I highly recommend 2 things. I would suggest adding it to your wish list as well as signing up for a back in stock email notification. I think the Diamond Art Club tends to use these sometimes to take into consideration like when, if to restock kits, so I always suggest doing that if it's a must-have for you. And best of luck if you are hoping to snag one if and when it does restock. You can also check Destash Groups as people get this in. If they get it in and, had buyer's remorse or just change their mind, then that can be another option as well. But let me know what you think in the comments. Is this one that you did pick up on Black Friday or one that you're going to wish list to pick up someday, or just enjoy vicariously through others? All of the above are fabulous options. I just want you to enjoy your diamond painting experience. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this helpful and fun. I know I loved getting into this kit and getting a closer look at it with you guys. Like I said earlier, please do subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more from me. I do unboxings and reviews from a variety of different companies, as well as weekly whip and chats if you want some company while you're crafting on Monday mornings, and a variety of other diamond painting videos. So anyway, you guys, I hope you're doing very, very well and having a wonderful holiday season. Have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.